Welcome to Cinderella Stories with Ash and Sav, my beautiful co-host. We are here to talk everything women's sports as per usual. We have some AI propaganda that Savannah and I are going to argue about because we have very different, unaligning, clashing views on the subject. But first, we have to talk about the fact that our run as professional fans are done. The Jays lost in the World Series, and I know, but I am tired. I'm tired, Grandpa. That's too damn bad.
Bruh.
Those are some bad beats.
Bruh.
I haven't seen that in a while.
No. Okay.
The back-to-back. The 3, 5, and the 3,
calls.
6, and 7 games.
We talked about the calls, and I will say this: the calls were not fair both ways.
Okay.
I think they both got bad calls.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna just pin it on the refs being like we just got the worst one because everybody hates Toronto. No, the Dodgers also got some bad calls as well. So
The strike zone was moving.
yeah,
The strike zone was not.
I saw a clip on TikTok, and it looked like it's hard for me to tell, but it looked like one of the Dodgers plays, he wasn't even on the base. And this was one of the home runs. He didn't even touch the base. It was minuscule.
A graze.
I was like, oh.
Just whiffed it.
And the fact that we lost by 1 point.
Devastating.
Yeah.
A 1-run loss will kill you.
Yeah.
But also hey, so there's tea in the W with Dominique Malonga, but also tea about your friends for a hot second. Why do they keep having parties on?
Answer it! Answer it! Answer it! Yeah. Put it on speaker. Put it on speaker right now. So cool.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? He didn't answer. Okay, so as my financial advisor, so let's just, an air of professionalism, please. The man who handles my money.
All right.
Hopefully it's good news. Hopefully we ran into a large lump sum.
Put it on D&D now.
I thought it was.
Oh, maybe it was Jay's Care 50/50 calling.
I would leave
That would be my financial advisor.
I would leave right now.
Goodbye.
Respectfully. And that's the end of Cinderella Stories.
Have a good one.
This is our last episode.
Did you play 50/50?
I did, obviously.
24 million.
I can't imagine you just
Imagine
you have
you did
to.
it.
You just have to. It's $20 million. But as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Dominique Malonga tea in the W, but tea for your friends, because why do they keep having birthday parties on Sundays? Because that's the second day. That's the second week in a row, and you're 30 now.
Yeah,
you need to be in bed.
I need to be
getting your
for
beauty
real.
sleep.
No, literally, I love my friend. She's my best friend from high school, literally grade 9. So that's the only reason.
Oh, interesting.
Why
I just think it's funny.
Whatever.
She's your best friend.
I have a lot of great friends in my life, but
Continue.
she's one of the longest.
LLZ?
Whatever.
The longest tenured.
One of the longest tenured. Okay, there's a running list here. Okay, someone gets knocked off, I'll let you know. But she lives all the way out in Oakville, and so I literally had to adjust my entire weekend plans. After the Jays game, I literally commuted straight to Mississauga. That was a $74 Uber. Yeah, because we're not taking the bus in that
Oakville
traffic.
Sunday party.
Mm-hmm. It was a game. It was like a game night or whatever from 5 o'clock to however long. I left early. Me and my
What games did you play?
Super Mario Kart, which I won.
Yeah.
And which I
not competitive
which
at
I
all.
won.
Just to be clear,
as well as Monopoly. Deal, yes.
I've never won a round of Monopoly Deal.
Really?
I'm actually really bad at it. I have been accused of cheating several times and I just don't know the rules. I just can't put my mind around it.
Yeah, it's different. For me, it's one of those, when I first learned it, I had to observe it for a couple rounds and then I'm like, okay, I think I got it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm okay at it.
Thrown in.
Yeah, that one's okay.
Well, thrown into the Sharks, Dominique Malonga. Okay, so here's the tea. She is a 19-year-old basketball phenom. She's from France. She was drafted 2nd overall in the WNBA. She's been called the female Wemby, Victor Wembanyama.
Yep.
That is kind of her comp. It's not even another woman. It's one of the best basketball players we've ever seen. Okay. So she is supposed to be playing in Turkey at Fenerbahçe. Okay. Fenerbahçe.
Dun, 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 dun.
She's supposed to be playing for a Turkish professional women's basketball team called Fenerbahçe, okay? And she decided to unilaterally, according to them, just void the contract and not show up. Just not show up.
That's it's giving high school. It's giving when you don't want to go to class. It's giving.
Can you write a note?
Wait, know what it's giving? It's giving when you're doing your victory lap year and you've already graduated.
Right.
So you don't care.
You need one class upgrade.
Exactly.
I'll be at that class and the rest.
And that's the rest.
TBD.
Maybe not. Yeah.
But what do you make of it? Because, so first of all, you can't just Like a contract is a contract.
Yeah.
And so she was injured in 6 games left in the regular season. She plays for the Seattle Storm. She had to undergo surgery after the postseason. She had a dislocated tendon in her wrist. So she's taking care of that. And whether or not that's the reason for her wanting not to report to Turkey, you can't just do that.
No, you can't do that because she's not reporting to her Turkish team. But on the flip side of it, she is reporting and she's tying up her laces to Unrivaled. She said, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not about the Turkey. I'm gonna play for Unrivaled."
Yeah.
And that's the part that's like, girl, what's happening? And the best part is about this story is that there's so much tea on so many sides. So obviously, like the Turkish team, Farnerbach. I dare you guys to look it up and say it yourselves.
It's right. I have full confidence.
Farnerbach. Oh,
cute.
Is it?
Cute. I like that.
And anyways, so the Turkish team, they're not happy. And they are doing a lot as they would. As if I was the president of that team, I would be doing the most too. So basically, they released a statement that says, "We inform the public that we will exercise all of our legal rights to seek compensation for any material and moral damages that incurred by our club during this process." And so that was posted on X by the club themselves. And they also keep in mind, this is also very interesting, in order for Malonga to return to the WNBA in 2026, a letter of clearance from the Turkish Federation by way of Farnerbach will be required.
Yeah, no, that's a super valid. So literally the whole thing reminds me of like you versus the guy she told you not to worry about. Where it's like, no, I signed a contract. We're in it. We have a lease.
God, baby. Yeah.
We have a lease.
We're good, baby.
We have a mortgage.
Oh my God, babes.
Why are you worried?
Don't be worried.
Unrivaled. Met a guy at a dive bar, making out in the corner.
My dream man just asked me out. Skirt.
Yeah, and honestly, like, don't let a husband get in the way of finding your true love. Really and truly.
Don't let a husband get in the way of finding your boyfriend.
Also. We subscribe by both. It's actually on our crest.
Yo, have you seen
on
the
our
Vogue,
crest.
the viral Vogue article
about boyfriends being embarrassing? I have.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry for your luck, Nadine.
I feel.
Are you?
Oh, sorry, Nadine.
That's
we love you, Charlie.
Yeah, but also embarrassing.
Yeah.
No, but the letter of clearance is really interesting. So to your point, it's like a treaty between FIBA and the W. So they allow players a transfer window, a highway, if you will, to go back and forth.
Yeah.
But Unrivaled, is not involved in that. They're not governed by FIBA like every other international league that there is. So I'm wondering though if the letter of clearance is irrelevant because she unilaterally decided to null and void the contract. But if a court, because they said they're going to take legal action, if they uphold the contract, then the Turkish team will probably have legs to stand on to block her from playing in the W and returning if they want to, because they don't have to give that clearance if the contract remains intact.
So do you think that she left the Turkish team in order to just play in Unrivaled? Do you think she got recruited from Unrivaled last minute? Like it was like a last minute call up, be like, "Hey girlie, we do have space for you.
You want to make $300,000 and play 9 weeks? Or do you want to play 5 months in Europe?"
That's the thing. There's that. But also keep in mind, she's from France. She's French. So she should be okay with playing.
Turkey's not.
Turkey is
not in France.
No, it's not in France. No, I know.
I was like, Savannah?
No, but it's like it's but when you're European, I find that it's kind of like when you're from Texas and you're going to play over in like New York.
It's not as much as a culture shock.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's not. It's all in one continent. But like I think it's just more like. So that's why I want to know the real reason. Did she not like the coach? Was there something about the organization? Okay. Was it strictly just because Unrivaled opportunity came up? How much money was she going to make? Because I think it was a good amount of money for the Turkish league.
Yeah, it would have been.
So it's not like Unrivaled would have rivaled the money that much, I think, because also we all know that like women can make the bag overseas, and Turkey's actually one of the higher paying countries.
Yeah.
And so I got to pull up her numbers. We'll put it on screen if we can find it, of how much she would have made with the Turkish franchise. But otherwise, I want to know what the backstory is, because sometimes, and seeing this from my twin sister's perspective too, like there's so many times where you want to play for a franchise or you want to play for an organization overseas in Europe, and then you hear just horror story after horror story after horror story.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that I'm not saying it's this one in particular, but there's a lot of organizations, this happens across the board, men's and women's basketball, where they don't pay you. They don't pay you on time.
And they're like net 280.
Net 280.
What?
You get injured. They treat you like crap.
Yeah, once you can't contribute to their organization
They don't even know who you are anymore.
I mean, I think she's probably different.
Yeah.
She's a high profile athlete
100%,
who's been like the jewel in their crown kind of thing.
Totally.
I honestly, okay, so in response, actually, I don't know if it was in response, but on TikTok, she posted a video of her getting her cast following her surgery. And she did a voiceover and she kind of outlined the timeline for her injury. She talked about just taking some time for herself. And really, it came off to me is that she's just a girl.
Yeah.
She's just a young
She's
19-year-old kid who just needs a second.
Yeah.
Because she's been training and she's been working towards this goal to play in the W. She got drafted. She has a hell of a season.
Yeah.
Now she's asking to get to play Unrivaled. She had an injury that required surgery. She's probably just needs a break.
Yeah.
She said that in her VO. She's like, I just need some time. She's been active all over the place. She's in a new city that she seems to really like in Seattle. Maybe, she met a little something.
Oh, booting.
Maybe she, met the person that she's going to date until she finds the love of her life.
The real love of her life.
The real love of her life. But I think people take a look at women's athletes and they're like, oh, for so long, you should be thankful that you get to work. You should be thankful that you get this job. Oh, how could you possibly pass up this opportunity in Turkey? You must be making $2 million over the course of 3 years. But since we're in an era now that the money may be less of a motivator than it ever has been because the athletes can get it in so many different places and have it in abundance from doing one thing as opposed to having to work 3 jobs.
No, for real.
Single mom at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of that energy, they're like, oh, I just did, one ad and got paid $3 million. So I can stay in Seattle and just heal from my wounds and do whatever I want.
And the other thing, so on that point, you got to keep in mind the timelines of these seasons. Typically when the European season starts, it's in October. Late October is already preseason games happening, if not regular seasons already. November, definitely regular season kicks in. It goes all the way to March.
Yeah.
So it's a long season too. Then just to go straight from there back to the NBA. Now, keep in mind, the NBA players have been doing that from the history of time.
Yep.
But obviously now with more options, and this is what we talked about before about like, there's more competitive. It's not a monopoly either way now. Even the off season is not monopoly no more for just Europe. Everyone's assuming, oh, you got to go to Russia, got to go to China. Now that there's a leagues like Unrivaled that exists, not only do you have a couple months to heal, because Unrivaled really starts in the new year?
It starts February.
Yeah, they start. Yeah, start in the new year, and so now you got this break from October all the way through to January, and then you get to start. Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you don't get PTO in the W, by the way. You can't be like, hey, hey coach, hey Cheryl Reeve, can I get this weekend off? I really want to go to play a games night on a Sunday with my girls.
Like,
I'm gonna be tired on Monday.
I'm trying to go to Bali, bro.
You can.
You can.
So 1,000%.
But how much of this is on the agent?
Okay, so yeah, wait, because timeout. You said the agent got canned.
Well, okay, so
reports
say, and by reports, I've got to double check, verify that before I put any words out there. But I did see a couple headlines that said that she let go of her agent.
Okay.
Mind you, I just did some research before this, and I didn't see anything that confirmed it.
Okay.
So don't want to put it out there yet, but
she said
wonder.
Spring cleaning in fall.
Spring cleaning, yeah. She said,
new team, new agent,
changing of
new
seasons.
wrist,
that's different.
Everything.
Yeah, new wrist.
Yeah.
better
bitches, better husband.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better money, my clothes better, my shoes better. I work harder. See this. I don't know stuff.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
I want that audio on it right now.
So good.
I look better.
So good. But yes. Okay. So we'll be watching.
Yeah.
But honestly, to me, it just looks like a young girl who's finally decided that she's going to take matters into her own hands. Whether or not she's able to do that from a legal standpoint.
Yeah.
Well, Fenerbahce will be watching, and they'll be trying to do whatever they can, because also, like, I don't think that they want the appearance of having been slighted by an athlete. And then what precedent does that set for other athletes that you want to sign
at that caliber?
So they have to kind of go hard in the paint on this one, and we'll see. Maybe they can ratify it amicably, but we'll be watching. Something else we'll be watching, Paige Bueckers.
Yes.
Actress.
Okay.
Announced a movie that's going to be on Apple TV that is from one of the writers that was on Scandal. It's called Jess and Pearl. It's about two basketball rivals that have to balance friendship, competition, and I think also like the money situation that happens now that NILs is such a big deal.
Yep.
We don't know who her co-host is just yet. I want to see her play the one though.
Yeah.
Come on, like in a girl rival, there's always someone who's like a little bit more of a than someone who's like a little bit more. Of course, because Paige is so congenial and people love her so much. Wouldn't it be so interesting to see her as a mean girl? She's acting.
No, I know. I'm just trying to picture that. I'm like, can she pull it off? Because here's the thing, like respectfully, I've never seen her acting skills, so I don't know. She could be the next best actor for all I know, actress. But I'm like, can she pull off a mean girl? That's a challenge.
With knowing her, she'd probably be like, I'll just channel AZ. Yeah. I'll just channel AZ when she's mad at me or something crazy. Right? They talk so crazy to each other in the best way.
Yeah.
But we've been asking for this. We were talking about this briefly when Asia first got her shoe and I was like, this is what she needs next, is she needs a movie.
And I've been doing my research. I did a deep dive last night.
Okay.
So I asked myself, I was like, when was the last major women's basketball movie that came out?
It was Love and Basketball, was it not?
Well, I wouldn't even call that
or
women's
there was
basketball
the one with
per
that,
se.
the one that people make fun of on TikTok with the white girl who dribbles.
Double teamed.
Yes.
That was like
where she's like da 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 da.
Well,
and it's like, okay, you didn't first of all go anywhere.
She's like moving her shoulders and trying to tap
like
dance.
Every man in a door frame.
Yeah.
Airball. Yeah, we saw you miss, babe.
We saw. Okay. No. Just give a man a door frame.
And watch him work. Watch every time. Like,
and one.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right, going straight to the lead.
Step over you into the kitchen.
No, so the last time, Double Teamed was one of them. Those were like the twins that made the WNBA. It was so tacky, so bad, not believable at all. But then the most recent one would have been technically the Mighty Max, which came out 2011
on Disney.
This thing is just a random movie. It was one of the major ones though. It was like a nun. That's like, it's like a throwback type of like olden days.
The Mighty Max?
The Mighty Max, MACS. Yeah.
Like a Big Mac?
And then there's a very derogatory one that I found, and I actually linked it to show you the trailer for a live reaction.
Okay.
You're going to be, I'll just show you.
Lady Ballers.
Coach Alex, we could play basketball. Ladies basketball, boys. Nobody watches.
Who? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, who is that? That's that Republican guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
They made a
Ted
parody.
Cruz. Why is Ted Cruz in there?
Yeah.
Ted Cruz.
It was very
Ariana,
much.
What are you doing here?
Supposed to be. Yeah. Here's the cast, as you can see, of that one.
So was it written by is it meant to be a
Candace
joke or
Owens
is it meant to be?
It's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a right wing.
Yes. That was the last women's basketball movie that was like 100% just tongue in cheek and just completely poking fun at everything. And like, once again, a derogatory way.
I'm not going to lie though. Like the crowd cutaway to no one kind of hit. Because personally,
bruh,
like my college games were not well attended, and even like when
my mom came,
my mom would come. Okay, so Sandy she gave no shits about my team as a whole. When she would hear like the sub horn, she would like look up, and if I was going on, she would put her like phone down and be like, and then if I got subbed off, she would be like, emails.
Okay, back to
emails. So
wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad to see it's changed.
So
it's changed. It's not like that anymore.
No,
but that was
definitely not like that anymore.
That was triggering for me personally.
As it
just
would
the
be.
one person in the stands. Like,
yeah.
And they're there to watch the men's game. That's after. They're just early. It's like someone's girl.
Bruh.
Damn it.
Yeah. No. Anyway.
Okay, so there's been no movies.
There's been no movies. No, and I like I said, I don't count Love and Basketball because that's still it's both men's and women's.
Yeah, but it's about Monica though.
It is about Monica primarily, but it still features
Quincy,
a man.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
so this is it.
this is pretty much it. I don't, unless you want to count the Mighty Max and Double Teamed. So this is like I would say this is the first legit women's basketball movie played by a women's basketball player. It's kind of like Hustle with Bo Cruz and
Adam Sandler,
and then Anthony Edwards was basically playing himself.
Cameo.
Yeah, basically playing himself as the enemy.
I tried to watch that and I fell asleep. It was not entertaining to me.
I didn't mind it.
You liked it?
Yeah, it was okay.
I fell asleep in the jewelry store.
Oh yeah.
Was Kevin Garnett there? It feels like a fever dream.
Yeah, they got everybody in that one.
Okay.
I have a feeling that they're gonna pull a lot of people for this one.
Has to.
Yeah.
But I hope it doesn't turn into
look at me. I'm in this just for the sake of being in this.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of the movie Happy Gilmore 2 that they just released. And it's literally just a movie of cameos. And it's cool to see people, but at a certain point, I do like a light plot.
I like a storyline.
I like a light plot.
Yeah, I like the
Am I
hero's
gonna
arc.
talk through the whole thing?
Yeah.
Am I gonna have questions and philosophies on what I think's happening? Obviously, isn't that the point of cinema? To get you thinking. To get you thinking.
Cinema.
People are like, don't talk in movies. It's like, okay, well, how are you gonna guess what happened then? And then if I was right, you're just gonna think I was lying.
Yeah,
because I didn't stake my claim ahead of time.
What do you think Jess and Pearl will be about? Like specifically,
I think it's probably gonna be okay. Putting my producer's cap on.
I was gonna say, you have a really great mind for like movie ideas here.
I would imagine it's like two friends who have been seen as equals throughout the course of their career, and then maybe they get to university and one pops off and the other just stays good, but doesn't get the recognition, doesn't get the partnerships, the deals, maybe doesn't get the playing time, doesn't get the ESPN interviews. And so a little bit of jealousy comes into play, and then maybe gets slighted in a way. She's like, oh my God, Jess, played by Paige Bueckers. And Jess is like, hey, big times are. And then it's like on. And then maybe there's like a Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding moment where she goes up for a layup and she hits her in the back. She falls to the floor, her wrist. Everyone's like, Pearl, what are you doing? She's like, it's my time now. Starts in the NCAA tournament. But then they make up at the end.
So Pearl will be the one that comes out on top over Paige?
No, Pearl's the kind of rude, but jealous. But Paige turns into like too much of a big timer.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like Paige is the one who succeeds. Paige is, but then buys into her own hype.
Okay.
Pearl gets jealous. Somehow they make up later. Probably Gino.
Definitely Gino. Gino's making an appearance for sure.
Gino forges
and
a
Dawn
truce.
Staley. If I don't see Dawn in this movie, I'll be like, Kat, this is crazy.
Yeah, this isn't a sports movie.
It's not a sports movie. If Dawn Staley's not in this, are you crazy?
But something along those lines.
But like, my Toronto girl was about to come up like, are you dumb?
Are you dumb? Or are you stupid?
Are you dumb? Are you crazy? Are you
Take
stupid?
a side. But yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Yeah. Okay. The
What
other thing that crossed, I like that plot line. That's why I gave it to you, because I was like, she'll know what to do with this.
Here, friend.
Here you go. No, but the other thing that I don't know if I want to flag this or how much of a big deal, because I'm just happy that we have a women's basketball movie. But I just found it interesting that like the first legit women's basketball movie that we have, it's based around a WNBA rookie. Also, once again, she flagged it herself, a white player, and it's just one of those like. There's so many like players you could have made a movie about that are also Black women that have been around the league from time. And also like, once again, part of it is like the relevancy, because Paige is relevant right now, 100%. But like, why wasn't there a movie ever created about Candace Parker? Like Asia Wilson.
Where she's starring in it.
Where she's.
So what I would say is maybe also super valid. All of those things. Maybe they are not interested in acting.
That's fair.
Maybe they need to fire their agent like Dominique did. Maybe it's time for some spring cleaning.
Allegedly.
Because, what are deals that are being made for you? Yeah. I already told you, I'm on board.
Well,
I wanted to see Asia.
Yeah. Oh.
Angel did a cameo.
She did do a cameo.
And then you said she's having a documentary coming out too. So she made her Netflix film debut.
Yeah, she had Netflix, yeah.
So she made a cameo, but she was talking to Common and he was like, you need to get an acting coach. And so she's just saying, I'm going to add one more thing to my resume. So I wouldn't be surprised if something comes up with that. Maybe I don't know. I think all super valid that you're talking about. But I also Paige, I would say, is an anomaly in that regard.
Yeah.
I think Paige, like
she's Diana.
Everyone loves her.
We talked about this.
Princess Diana.
She's Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Lady Di.
Yeah. Where like everyone just is obsessed with her.
Everyone.
And she's so self-aware. And she calls out the thing. She says the quiet parts out loud.
Absolutely.
So people feel seen by her in a number of different ways.
Imagine someone saying, I don't like Paige Bueckers. I'd be like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I
You
would have
probably
so much
tell
questions.
kids that Santa's not real.
No, literally.
Don't you?
That was you.
That was you, wasn't it?
You're that kid. Like,
You probably kick dogs, non-violent ones, don't you? Yeah.
yeah. No, that's
They probably don't like cats. They don't like Paige, which I know Savannah is. Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
A part of the reason why I went to my parents' place was also to pick up my cat.
Okay.
Because when I was in the Bahamas, they are like cat sitting their grand cat.
Can't cats be left alone for 6 years and they'll survive?
Basically.
Like,
I do have an automatic feeder with a camera. And it has voice recognition too. So I could talk to it while like it's eating. I could like be like, Kovu, and then it'll come. It has heard my son has heard my voice before.
my son.
My son. I birthed him.
His grandparents were
Yeah.
watching him.
Yeah, his grandparents. Yeah. I said that's their grand cat. Absolutely, it's my son.
Seek help.
No,
Seek help.
You guys like cats? You like cats? Nadine likes cats.
It's silent. I don't
She
hear
nodded.
anything.
She nodded.
She's scared of you.
No.
She's gonna say yes. Right, Nadine? Right? Did the cat live? Okay. Oh,
See?
she didn't want to leave.
He liked
She didn't
you.
wanna
Which
leave.
a cat's love is earned, never given. That's why I like cats so much. Because dogs, they'll love anybody.
Sounds like trauma. Sounds like you don't know how to be loved.
No.
Sounds like
Cats
you
are
want to be
mean.
picked.
Because I'm a cat. That's why. You got to earn my love. That's for damn sure. And it's a lot more high maintenance.
than a cat.
Yeah, than a cat.
Dogs are high maintenance, I will say that.
Yeah,
Cats
yeah.
just hang around. Okay. So moving on, because one of the funniest players in
Oh my
all of
gosh.
sports, but specifically the W, Syd Colson, it was on Post Moves. It's a podcast with Aaliyah Boston and Candace Parker. And she was asked about doing a draft, a WNBA all-star players draft, straights versus gays.
Yep.
And Syd Colson looked dead in the camera and said, only the ones that are out?
Oh.
We should have a gays versus straight all-star. Who are you drafting?
Wait, gays who are out? Or what y'all out gays? Or
Syd! You're not supposed to say that out loud. Syd! I love you, girl. She's so funny.
But also, which ones are you talking about?
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically, allegedly.
If you were to be like, oh, the ones that aren't out, like what teams do they play on? And what do they look
What do they look like? What hair color do they have? What's their favorite color?
She's so messy.
And she's
That's
so
what it
messy.
is.
And they started going down the roster. She was like, okay, so it's you. So she was like to Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, so on the straight team,
Side.
it would be you and Sabrina Ionescu,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Literally.
And she said, though,
She's like, so we've already won. We have all the good gays.
yeah.
Like, we have all the good gays.
And Aaliyah was like laughing. She was like, yeah.
Even Candace Parker defected.
yeah.
Candace Parker was like, I used to be, and now I'm most certainly not.
Not. Yeah.
Me and my wife are very happy with our all-star team.
Yeah. Wow.
But I love the fact that she has that ability to say the funny things out loud
Yes.
that people are A, probably thinking.
Yeah.
B, someone was sweating.
Yeah.
Someone that's in the closet is sweating and was like, Syd, I swear to God, I
Shut-
swear to God,
shut up,
I'll
shut
come
up,
for you.
Syd,
She would
shut up.
never. She would never. It's
No.
jail, prison immediately if you out somebody.
100%.
But also, I think that like that's one of the reasons that we wanted to create the show too.
Yeah.
Not to get too like sentimental, is like we want to talk about sports in ways that you can like joke about it. Like it's not that deep all the time.
No.
It's really not that serious. And like everyone, but did they die?
But did they die? And like our pitch package, even for the show, was always like a women's sports podcast with no guardrails.
Yeah.
And I think we've done a pretty good job of that. If I say so myself.
If I do say so myself.
But like, and Syd, if you ever want to come on our show, you're more than welcome.
Oh my God, that'd be so cute.
Sit right by the button. But also, when I think about Syd, like she was the first one to make fun of the green dildo controversy, which she probably fed into
Mean
the fire a
green.
little with the mean green.
She dressed as it.
She exactly.
Yeah.
She dressed as the mean
Which
green.
actually, in hindsight, would have been an elite Halloween costume. But
Bruh. But no, because it got too controversial. Like the joke was done.
yeah, but then it's like Family Guy when it's like, it's been enough time. Can we bring it back? Like it's
They're like,
decided.
it hasn't been enough time because it's just happened this season. So like, but no one was gonna get it
It
next
was before
year.
daylight savings time.
Has it? Have we hit daylight savings?
Sunday. Oh, you're at your party. Today.
It was actually daylight
I had a
savings.
freaking conniption because I walked into my kitchen and I looked at the clock and it was like 9 and I was like, I needed to be gone and I wasn't even showered. but then
That makes so much sense because I checked the clock. No, I didn't even know it was daylight savings. That makes so much sense because I checked the clock when I was at the party.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, it's like 7 o'clock or whatever. When
it happens on Saturday morning, like early Saturday morning, like 2 a.m. or something.
Interesting. Because I got home at like 3 or something. I was like, is that late?
No, but it jumps back.
They jumped back.
Mhm.
Interesting. Good to know.
All right, speaking of conspiracies, AI.
Okay, my favorite topic. Oh,
You wanna get into
the
this?
way that I vouch for this.
You get into this?
Yeah, I'll get
Okay,
into
please.
this. Okay,
Lead the
okay.
way.
The head coach of the Seattle Reign, Laura Harvey, decided to take up her, I guess, coaching to another level via technology.
Okay.
Via technology. And now keep in mind, she is actually the most veteran coach in the NWSL.
Take it up another level
So
is crazy propaganda.
It's almost like imagine if Greg Popovich was to
my
all of a
God, here
sudden
we
just
go.
dibble dabble in the A of the I. And so I guess Laura Harvey, she came out on a podcast and she said that she was, I guess, like strategizing and like whatever planning. And then she mentioned one of the rival teams that she was facing. Rival team being
Orlando, she was looking to
Yeah.
play against, and Kansas City Current, who finished first actually in this year's NWSL.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, so she actually prompted, she said, one day in the offseason, I was writing things to ChatGPT, what is the Seattle Reign's identity? And it would spurt it out. And I was like, I don't know if that's true or not, she said. And then I put in, what formation should you play to beat NWSL teams? And it spurted it out. And every single team in the league and what formation you should play. And for 2 teams, it went, you should do a back 5.
Yeah, 5 defenders.
So I did. No joke. That's why I did it. And so she's playing this formation of a back 5 against one of the teams that she talked about in the
Orlando.
It was Orlando.
She was 1-1
Yeah,
against those
again-
2 teams. It was
and
a
then-
win against KC, 1-0, 1-0, and it was a loss to Orlando, 1-0 as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Because
with-
she did it. I'm getting confused because she did it a couple times.
Yes, that's what they pulled out from. But okay, go. You know what? You finish.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
So this opens up a huge can of worms for me, and I see it on both sides. I see it as whenever technology is introduced into sport, there's always immediate pushback. And does this lose the integrity of the sport? Does this like how does this change the game? And now I saw it as they're even like take instant replay, for example.
VAR. Yeah.
Yeah, people were not for instant replay right away. Okay, the NFL adopted it in 86, and then the NHL in 91, NBA 2002, and then let's go over to Coaches Challenge. People didn't like the Coaches Challenge. Okay, so that was also first used in 99 by the NFL, and then the NBA adopted it in 2019, MLB 2014, the Managers Challenge, and NHL 2015. Now, here's the thing, is that my question is those elements, they all impact the quality of the game. And I think you get a better product as a result of all these positive changes. My only question with AI is, does this take away from entertainment value of the human element of coaching? Or does it add to it because maybe it could make for a more competitive game?
By going to AI and saying, what formation should I play?
But what if all the coaches did that then? But I think it's going to impact the most the scouting department. Because why would you need as much of a scouting department if you're going to have computers start scouting players? And also keep in mind, we're just at the tip of AI here. Okay, this is going to steamroll itself into eventually having specific soccer platforms where you could upload footage, I'm sure, and have AI spit out what you should do against a certain player's position. The formations is just like the basic of it.
But here's the thing. I disagree with you fully because if you're shocking, I know. So playing 5 back against a team like Orlando and a team like KC is just because they have 2 of the most prominent strikers in the game in the world. So KC has Temwa Shawinga, who is a Malawian football player. She's the Golden Boot winner for this season of the NWSL. And then Barbara Banda plays for the Orlando Pride. And she is also next level, other world, just like, think of somebody who's just the fastest person that you've ever met, the strongest person that you've ever met, and then also just does it with a smile on their face. So when they beat you, you feel even worse. Because you're like, I can't even be mad because you're not even an asshole about it. So to say from an AI standpoint, we're going to go 5 back, it's saying we need extra help against these 2 elite strikers. It's saying B, I don't think our defense can handle it as is. Certainly not 3 in the back, maybe 4. But to add a 5th, you're like, okay,
So
we need the
they're like-
reinforcements. Really what you're saying is you're going to be like pressing down in like a low block and trying not to let them get past your back 5.
Yeah.
So it's more of a reinforcement strategy than learning something new about these teams.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Because Coach Laura Harvey said that she's never really played a 5-back before.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because it's embarrassing.
it's embarrassing, but
It's not traditional
But it
tactics.
gets you a win though. It's like when Nick Nurse ran
Oh my-
box in 1.
You need to.
Box in 1.
Yeah.
That was like unorthodox and barely ever ran at that time, especially.
Yeah.
And it worked. Like it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, she credited AI for, I guess, like thinking outside the box.
I think if it's going to help with an innovative strategy, 5 and back is not necessarily innovative in that regard. But I think it, from your standpoint, where it's like things that might be a little bit more unconventional because it's likely going to be honestly at like a lower level of understanding than your scouting department, than your
For
coaches.
now.
To a degree, but they already have scouting technology
100%.
that they do use.
Yeah.
And so I will say it's like all of these things are already available to them.
And that's actually the
It's
next
not
question.
anything that's new.
How much coaches already use AI in their coaching tactics that we just don't know about?
Yeah. But I think the thing is that with these machines, you can't get a feel for a person that day. You can have, there's
Yes.
always going to
And
be the
that's a
human
variable.
element.
Yes.
Everyone is always so scared about, oh, technology this, technology that. And there is real elements of like simplifying and efficiency that technology can help. And in this conversation, you can lose jobs over, it can streamline processes, of course. But there's always going to be a way where it's like, I'm the coach, Savannah's the star player. I have this plan for her to run off triple screens and hit a 3. But I look at her and I'm just like, she just doesn't have it today.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is that's going on with her, or like they have her number, or that one matchup is bad, or that defender is just like on her shit today.
Yeah.
Okay, it can't be Savannah.
Yeah.
And that human element and that intuition,
Yeah.
that can never be replaced.
But what if, okay, fair, and I agree with that. But to add on to that, what if you were to prompt AI to then be like, so my star player, Savannah, doesn't have it today. Who should I go
Girl,
to?
if that's
for
what you're
this
doing, you're not in the NBA or WNBA.
I know.
You're not in the NWSL.
But like-
quick, give me the chat. Quick, give me the chat. It's like supposed to be a PK.
But I'm
Laura
just-
Harvey, we got to have a PK today, babe. You can't be, girl, no.
But I'm just more curious to know how far it's going to go and also how efficient. Once again, the scary thing about AI on all fronts in every industry, in our industry, because did you know that there's a AI that can simulate a podcast, and they're like decent.
You
They're
can
actually
do like a
pretty
full TikTok channel on someone.
Yeah.
Like you could do a picture of yourself and then put in topics and it'll convert it into
and
videos
it's
of
getting
yourself talking
better
about
and
it.
better
Yeah.
and better. And so that's the scary part. And the interesting and exciting part is that like, how much will this help or hinder sports?
In the wrong hands,
Yeah.
anything's dangerous.
Yeah.
But shout out to Laura Harvey and her side. They finished 5th on the table in the NWSL this season. They had 10 wins, 9 draws. Last year, they were second to last. They had 6 wins only.
Yep.
5 draws. So they're doing their thing. The NWSL playoffs just around the corner. So we'll be watching.
We'll
And
be watching.
We'll be trying to keep you guys apprised of storylines and stuff like that for the casual fan or the deep dive
Absolutely.
NWSL fan.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. On that note, Northern Super League,
Yes.
the brand new women's soccer league in Canada. It's its inaugural season. Playoffs started on Saturday. AFC Toronto won their first leg of their two-legged. It sounds so crazy. Their first match of their two-legged.
Semifinals.
Why don't I know it right now? What is it?
The semis.
It's just a two-leg competition.
Yeah. Yeah. There's 2. There's 1 leg and there's 2.
Double
And
legs.
they did the 1. So now there's this 2.
Literally in my head was just like two-legged race, two-legged, three-legged race, three-legged race. I couldn't get over it. I was like, potato sack, potato sack.
Skirt. That's called brain rot, I believe the kids say.
Anyway, AFC Toronto just won their first match against the Montreal Roses. They have the second leg of that semifinal coming up on the 9th. And then
Yeah.
Ottawa is playing Vancouver. But it's been interesting to be kind of a part of a startup.
Yeah.
Like in that regard.
I have questions for you if you want to get into it.
Yeah.
I have so many questions, actually.
I'm so interested to find out
Okay.
about it. Yes.
Shoot.
No. Go
Rapid
ahead.
fire.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so with the NSL, there's obviously like a lot of, I guess, excitement from people who are plugged into women's sports in Canada specifically, because what would a women's professional soccer league look like in Canada? So I know that like you were obviously right in the mix and also very proud of all the work that you did to cover it, especially this season. It's a lot of work to cover a season, especially a brand new league.
25 games.
25 games, new storylines. People are unfamiliar with their players. Like there's so much. People don't realize as a reporter how much digging you gotta do, how much phone calls you gotta make just for a scrap of information that you could maybe take to make another phone call about that scrap of information to somebody else. And Ashley's been doing that like all season long. So
thank you.
Flowers, flowers, flowers. So that said, I would actually love to ask you, even as we are heading into the playoffs and we're in the playoffs, I should say, what has kind of stood out to you even about the first season of the NSL?
So I think to your point, it's just like the discovery of some talent that maybe you didn't know existed and watching them get an opportunity to represent the country. And that specifically with Emma Regan, who was like a teenage call-up, a youth international player, but getting a second look now that she's kind of asserted herself in the NSL. Holly Ward, Kaylee Hunter as well. Esther on the Nigerian women's national team, the Super Falcons. So watching those players kind of get that recognition on the international stage, or the opportunity in a lot of cases, has been really great to see. But to your point, dude, do you know how hard it is to find information on like a youth call-up who's a Canadian soccer player who played for the Nitro and they're 16? It's like one set of sisters got called up as youth development players.
Yeah.
It was the day of their high school graduation.
Oh no.
So now I'm like, here I am, a full-grown woman stalking this teenage Instagram.
Yeah, no kidding. DMing her like,
hey, so hope this isn't like super weird.
Don't mind me.
Don't mind me, but da-da-da-da-da. So I think the emergence of that has been good. And then hopefully the storytelling will follow, because I think that's something that they can have the opportunity to do better with.
Yeah, media kit.
Is that just media, like, no, just like more in-depth stuff. Like I thought a lot of time they spent like the opportunities doing quick hitters, rapid fire. What's your this? What's your this? What's your this? And those are really fun and those are really sociable.
Especially when you know the players already.
Sometimes it's nice to get a little bit more information.
Yeah.
There's a young lady in Toronto who's really working at the grassroots level to try and grow the game. Her name is Sydney, and she had an event in Kensington Market a couple weeks ago, and she had an AFC Toronto panel. And it was 4 players that play on the team. And they also had Dwayne Z. Rosario, who was there, who came and did a little fireside chat, as well as the president of AFC Toronto. So like, shout out Sydney, because like the lineup was stacked. But I learned more about those 4 players in that 30-minute chat than I knew about them all season, and I covered the league.
Wow.
Because in my responsibility for the broadcast, we don't really talk to the players. We do a match day -2 coaches meeting.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, you can try and get in a little side if you're going to go to training or something like that. But that's not really in the flow of the show.
Yeah.
Like the broadcast for soccer doesn't really allow for jumping in like it does for basketball or other sports.
Yeah.
So like I learned that like Colby Barnett really likes dubstep. Like that would be a really funny piece to do, or like really interesting to like hear about, because like I don't know how to shuffle, you know? We found out that Nikki Small, who scored a goal in the first leg of their semifinal against Montreal, is like militant with her game routine. Like she was asked the question, everyone's like, oh, I like to nap, and she's like, okay, so 7 a.m. awake, 7:10 stretch, 7:15. Like she is militant with it. There was another girl named Sarah Rollins. She's like a ski racer. You're like, that's really scary and like kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I think the league has an opportunity to showcase the women as like who they truly are.
More holistically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like it's so hard when you are a startup company to get everything at the same time. That's clearly what you would like to see in terms of like the growth of storylines.
Yeah.
But what do you feel like they've done well so far?
I think a really cool opportunity that they've been able to cultivate is there's a World Sevens football tournament that's announced, W7F. And AFC Toronto are who the winners of the Supporter Shield this season. They're going to participate in this tournament taking place in December in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Okay. So essentially it's supposed to be a congregation of all the best clubs from all around the world playing together in a 7-on-7 tournament in a different kind of format. And so last year there were some English Premier League women's teams that played. This year there's a formidable team from Mexico that's already in, Brazil that's already in. AFC Toronto is the first team to be awarded a spot in this tournament based on league performance. So that is historic in and of itself. And I think that this is going to be really interesting because it's going to give you a sense of really where the NSL stands on the grand scheme of things. Because right now, NSL, they call themselves a tier 1 league. They're the only domestic league in Canada. There has been some conversation about where they stack up with other leagues in the world. The Canada Soccer head coach, Casey Stoney, does not seem to think that they are where they need to be if teams are going to be using them to extract talent for their national teams on a regular basis. She did say verbatim, they are not a top 5 league in the world yet. And so I think that is very telling, but this becomes an opportunity to prove, and maybe unduly fair to AFC Toronto, that if they can come in and make some waves internationally, well, can you say that anymore?
Yeah. And I would say from the outside looking in on this, like, you know, getting more and more familiar with the women's soccer world, because and I'm not even mad that she said that personally. And I get it that it could feel like you could take that personally, like, well, we're trying so hard to do this, and this is like something that we put our blood, sweat, and tears in. But I would say, like, if you take the personal feelings out of it, being a top 5 like league in the world is not an easy thing to do when there's already such established leagues in the world that have been going on for decades.
It's your first year.
This is your first year, babes. We love you, but like, this is your first year, and there's a lot to still sort out, and there's not a whole lot of teams in the league yet. And so that's okay, because it's your first year. Yeah. The whole purpose of a first year league is to just make it through the season. Yeah. Hopefully relatively unscathed, net positive. Yeah. It would be a positive.
If you're able to.
Yeah. Net neutral is a win.
Yeah.
And so I would see that as, okay, is she wrong? Once again, outside looking in strictly, I don't think she's wrong.
And you don't think it's an insult?
I don't think it's an insult. I think that could the NSL get there potentially, like, in the next 5-10 years? Maybe.
Yeah.
But like, until then, it's almost like, it's almost in a way to think that you would immediately just like dethrone a top 5 league that has been around once again for decades already, and has been very established with well-funded money and well-funded facilities immediately. Like, just, you know, it's one of those, like, just check yourself a little bit on that.
Yeah, for context and to kind of further iterate your point, is the salary cap for each team in the NSL is $1.5 million. The minimum salary is $50,000 per player. So listen, for an opening year for a league, that is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
But then you see like Livy Smith, her transfer fee was like over €1 million just for that one player to get moved to a different team. Naomi Girma the same, Alyssa Thompson the same. And so money isn't everything, but money is certainly an indicator of skill, of success, and then of course
and the best
value.
Players will play for money.
Of course.
They're
like, I know my worth.
Yeah.
I know my worth.
Exactly.
So I will, another thing though I will say, and just to give them their credit where credit is due, they're working on a sustainability model where they are using government funds and grants, which are meant for travel and tourism, to cover the championship weekend. So they got $180,000 grant to help put that on. So that's going to be no cost to them.
That's
all
amazing.
of their sponsors are on multi-year deals.
Yeah.
So they're not saying you can dip your toe in and test the water. They're kind of saying like, are you in or are you out?
Yep.
Like, do you believe in us or don't you?
Yeah.
And for a startup, anything, business, league, it's so important to know that you have that runway to try things and make mistakes, so you're not under the gun every single second of every single day, although I'm sure they probably feel like that anyway.
Yeah.
Every franchise had to put $1 million for a franchise fee. They're already talking about expansion in a couple different cities. So I think they're well on their way, and I believe as a whole it has been a success. I've been really 100%. Enjoying being a part of it. But I'm looking forward to expanding, getting to know the players, because that's how you're going to get that real buy-in, where like a young girl sees like a Nikki Small and is like, oh, I love Nikki. I heard about her. She used to like, you know, cartoons when she was younger. I do too.
Yeah.
Her favorite player is this person. That's mine too. So having that just connection with the community will go far.
Absolutely. I think so too. I'm excited to see how the NSL grows and where it goes from here as well. And I do think that has tons of potential. And they started off like the right way to all your reasons of like, you know, getting investors to really put up or shut up.
Yeah.
So, and I appreciate that. And the fact that we just have professional women's soccer in our backyard, something that like we've been trying to do
really cool.
on the women's basketball side on a national coast to coast level, you know? So
I think, so I was thinking about it the other day. I've covered women's sports. I think going to the first NSL game was my first time in attendance at a professional women's game.
Sports event in Canada.
No. Like at
Ever?
all. Like I covered NSL, but I didn't attend a game. Like I was working.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the W game here. I was working somewhere
Yeah.
else. Like All-Star weekend, we were there together, but I feel like that's not like a game.
No.
It's not like a regular season game or like a playoff game or something like that. It's like the first time. Like I covered a FIBA women's tournament as well, but that's not professional.
So like when by just attending the game,
just being there, even though I was working.
Yeah.
It was my first
ever
professional women's game that I went to.
in Canada. Ever.
Anywhere. Stop saying Canada. I know. In Canada. No, literally, I think anywhere.
Whoa.
Like I really, yeah.
I mean, it's not like that far-fetched because like, yeah, if I didn't have the opportunity to go to Vegas and see the Aces play a couple years back, then some of my first experiences with the WNBA in person would have been like the preseason game, which is like that happened just not that long ago.
Yeah, which is crazy to think.
Yeah, we don't get the privilege of seeing professional women's sports in our backyard at that level. So wow.
Yeah, wow. I know. In Canada? No. In Canada. Stop saying that.
Shut up. No, I mean in general.
Okay, finally, speaking of excellence, the class of 2026 Basketball Hall of Fame was named, and there were a ton of prominent women specifically. Candace Parker, Elena Delle Donne, Isabel Fijalkowski, Amaya Voldemoro, Cheryl Reeve, Doris Burke, big names, heavy hitters, finally getting their due. Yeah. And I just, from that list, there's so much to say, but who specifically kind of sings to you?
Yeah, okay, so Candace Parker, obviously, she's a trailblazer, she's a legend, she's the woman, the myth, the legend. Mm-hmm. But for me personally, on a more of a personal note, to see Elena Delle Donne get her flowers, and also get their flowers, not when they're like creaky and old, like, you know, like get their flowers while they're still recently retired. Like, Elena she retired, like, we did an episode on this. Like, she retired like officially
last year.
For this
season. Yeah.
Like, and I'm not mad at that at all. I feel like when you impacted the game at a certain level, you deserve all of them, all the flowers. And so I already did a rant on her when she first announced it because I felt like it was actually kind of undercovered.
Yeah.
And to Elena's point too, she felt like the commissioner didn't even give her a call. So
yeah, she thinks I'm still on a roster.
She thinks I'm still on a roster.
Man, that was a tough month for Kathy. I bet Kathy is so happy. Kathy did not do an October photo dump. Nope. There was no recap. Kathy was like, she's like, that's in the past.
God we're out of there.
Yeah. Next, what's the calendar?
Keep that. Let's push the deadline. Let's push the deadline on the CBA. Anyway, so for Elena Delle Donne, so she was considered like this WNBA level player while she was still in high school, which isn't a slap to the WNBA at the time. It was just a credit to how good she was.
Yeah.
She signed to UConn under Gina Auriemma, left UConn in the middle of the night on like day one to go back and be with her sister, Lizzie. Now keep in mind, Lizzie, she can't see, she can't hear, and she has cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And so for me, that spoke to just kind of how she is, who she is as a person, how she operates. She ended up playing for Delaware. I believe it's Delaware, right? She ended up playing for Delaware, where she knew that just by playing for Delaware at the time was like a mid D1 school.
Okay.
And so she knew that it kind of took them out of the running of the high level D1 schools that could have contested for a national championship title. And she accepted it, even though she was like, oh, listen, I'm going to give it my all. But like, you know, and she ended up taking Delaware from a mid D1 to a high D1. And also, sidebar, she ended up like saying skirt, and she actually played volleyball first. She took a break from basketball at one point, which I'm like, queen.
As she should,
like, just because you can.
Because you can.
And she pulled a Michael Jordan, where she decided to play baseball for one season.
The buzzer is tired, Savannah.
I know.
No.
We need to start putting money on the buzzer. We need to start actually finding ourselves for this.
Like it's got to be like at least a couple dollars.
But it's true. It's true. She pulled an MJ, decided to like completely switch sports in like one of the peaks of her early career.
Yeah.
And then come back to basketball and then proceed to dominate MVPs, championships, bang, 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 bang. What's most interesting though about Elena Delle Donne is the fact that, did you know that she is a baker? She loves to bake.
Cute.
Yeah, and she was also one of the first players that even I remember that was on YouTube with a whole vlog. This is before it was popular.
Yeah.
And she was like vlogging her life, talking about her back surgeries. She was like, this is how I curl my friend's hair. Like little things that we actually got like the first kind of look inside of a WNBA player's life. And
you really love this woman.
I do love this woman.
That's really nice.
Elena,
you really do love this woman.
Congratulations on the Hall of Fame. Like, Anyway, so that's why she struck a chord with me immediately on a personal level. And she was always somebody that I just immediately looked up to as a player myself.
Right. I think for me, it's Candace Parker, and it's for a number of reasons. I think that you could speak to her professionalism. I think you could speak to her accomplishments. Honestly, you could speak to her courage. It's not an easy thing to do. We kind of joked about it earlier that she like switched from like the straight all-star team to the gay all-star team, but that's not an easy thing to do, to like be seen and expected to show up in a certain way as like a straight woman married to a man, get a divorce, have a kid, marry a woman, change your whole life. Like, you really have to like be confident with who you are to be able to have that happen and play out in the public eye as well. She could have very easily gotten her divorce, handled her business behind the scenes, and just like gone on her merry way.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, she's like, I want to stand and live in my truth, and this is what that takes. So I think that's really, really courageous. I think more so than anything though, too, she comes off, if you don't know her, which I do not, as like a little cold and like abrupt, but I think it's more like matter of fact. But the stories about being behind the scenes and how she's like literally like everyone's mom, I think that speaks to really how much people love her and the reason that she's been able to have the career that she has, because she's picking people up when their car breaks down. She's bringing them things that they forget. She's like giving them money if they don't have money for lunch. Like, she is literally taking care of anybody. Syd Colson actually on that same podcast was talking about how Candace pulled her up one year and was like, you are caring too much about yourself, about your game. Your shots aren't falling, whatever. You're having a bad day, whatever. You need to be the type of teammate that's pouring into other people more than yourself in these moments, because you are being selfish. And to have somebody who's, again, not only worried about their own game, worried about their team, but worried about their teammates also being better teammates, I think it just speaks to the way that she's impacted every program that she's been a part of. Also, the way that she's been able to continue the legacy of Pat Summitt.
Yeah.
And really, really dove into that as a coach for the Vols, who, you know, is like one of the best basketball coaches, period, in Pat Summitt. Candace Parker has very much been mentioning Pat every time she can. Pat passed away a couple years ago. But every time she gets a chance to mention her, she does.
Yeah.
She's trying to bring a team to the WNBA as an investor. She wants to name it the Summits. Like, she is dedicated to this woman's legacy, trying to pay it forward and pay her back for all the ways that she impacted her. So Candace Parker, Hall of Fame, no doubter. I think, obviously. Another no doubter.
No, you love her too. I love that.
Yeah, I do. Because I think she's like misunderstood in a lot of ways if you didn't know her. But I like the fact that she's able to show up as she is and still be excellent in everything that she does.
And I just appreciate her on like the business of basketball side as well. Like, she works, is it Adidas? Yeah. So she's like in charge of one of their branches at Adidas, basically in the women's
basketball. I think it's basketball specifically.
Yeah. The basketball shoe collection basically that Adidas has. And then on top of that, she is a broadcaster, as we all know.
Yeah, she's president of women's basketball for Adidas.
That's amazing. So not just the shoes, just president of women's basketball, period.
Yeah.
Love.
1,000%.
Love.
So all that to be said, I'm also into Hall of Fames.
I'm in the Hall of Fame too. If you go to my place in Mississauga, you'll see my picture on the wall.
Are you in the Mississauga Hall of Fame?
Yeah, at my parents' house. Absolutely. Right. I could show you a photo of it.
We can move on. I will say I do have this one TikTok idea that I'm going to execute, and I'll show you guys after. I have these like MVP trophies from these football tournaments that I played in, and I'm going to give it to my grandma.
Okay.
And just like, oh, grandma, I thought you might want this, and just see what she does with it. Because it's either going to be super wholesome where she's like, oh, let's find a place for it to be like on my mantle, or she's going to be like, what am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do?
One or the other.
It's not the decor, babe.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do
Just
that.
see what she
Please
does.
do that. Please
Yeah.
do that.
All right. Let's dive into one of the more understated names on this list, in Amaya, who's somebody who is also getting inducted in 2026 Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yes. Okay. So Amaya DeMoro, she was already in the FIBA Hall of Fame as of 2023. And she was a EuroLeague champ back in 93, 8-time Spanish league champ from 93 to 2010 between those years. And of course, a huge part of the Houston Comets dynasty. She helped them win 3 championships from 98 to 2000. So that's her accolades for those who are not familiar with her. But the real story that got me online, and keep in mind, she struggles to speak English. Yeah, fluently. Yeah. So I had to do some real digging girl. Here. Yeah.
Same.
Same today, bro. Same. The way that daylight savings be hitting me, I also struggle.
Oh my God. You just found out about it.
I do. No, that explains everything though. It explains everything. I was wondering why I was off. Anyway, Amaya is tough as nails, okay? So the story goes, the lore.
The Amaya lore.
Gather around
the Snapchat children.
Right? In 2011, she broke both of her wrists. Yeah, landing awkwardly, get this, on a chase down block. She was trying to, on the backboard of this thing, and she ended up landing awkwardly.
That is so awkward.
It's so awkward. But she joked later that like she couldn't even eat. She couldn't go to the bathroom without help because that's how bad both breaks were, obviously. I mean, think about it. Imagine.
Well, and when you break your wrist, the cast is like this. By the way, the cast is like this, okay? And the reason I know that, because your hand gets hooked.
Oh, really? Did you break your wrist?
No, but when I was going for an x-ray on my ankle, there was a woman who was trying to pick up her purse and she had the double hook calf and she couldn't like get the armband of her purse, the handle.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, can I like help you? She's like, sure. So I like hooked it on and like, I mean, like whatever, it's kind of cute. Like we walk around like that anyway, but it's a choice in this case. But she said a bicycle hit her from behind while she was walking on the sidewalk and she like got smashed and she didn't expect it. So she just like crashed down, both her wrists broke and the bicyclist like dung the bell, ding, ding, sorry, and kept going.
That would be on site.
Jail.
That would be
prison.
On site. On site. I will stand right there where it happened last time and expect like the same schedule for that bicycle. And then I will like literally be like and then I'll trip the bicycle. I'll literally and I have my button whipping like ding ding.
Like the Big Daddy, like when they throw the stick in the spokes. Yeah. So that's how so anyway, so she's walking around, double casted up.
Wow. Yeah. So she's walking around double casted up and she couldn't do anything. Now keep in mind, this is 2011, so that was actually towards the later half of her career. Mm-hmm. And so 2 years after that, though, she returned to not only captain the national team for Spain, she finished her career on a Eurobasket gold medal in 2013.
My girl.
And then also something last minute to add to her lore, she was the MVP for the tournament in Eurobasket 2007. Even though Spain lost to Russia in the finals. Like, you know how rare that ever happens where the
Becky
loser,
Hammond Russian.
Yeah.
Becky Hammond led Russian team.
Exactly. Basically. Where the loser gets an MVP.
Never. It's like anti-sport.
Yeah.
It literally is anti-sport.
But she was like, but it would be me.
But did she get the block?
The Lord did not conclude. That's inconclusive. That was inconclusive.
That's a no then. Because that's the first thing I would say.
Yeah, but did you get the block?
But did she get the block though?
She probably got a foul.
Fouled out.
She probably fouled out with that one, and then she broke her ankle. That's crazy. That would be crazy.
No, I love that stuff so much, and I think it's always so important to be able to, give flowers to even people that came before us, even if it was at a time where like A, you weren't alive, or like B, women's sports wasn't even available to watch. Yeah. Honest to God.
Yeah.
So I love that they're in the Basketball Hall of Fame specifically. They are really opening their doors.
Yeah.
To anyone, any gender, any position who has helped progress the game to where we know it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
ding, ding.
to the girls.
To the girlies.
Alrighty. Good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right. Savannah owes us all $18 for the abuse of the buzzer today. We will be collecting whether it's in real money or Monopoly money.
I'll Monopoly deal you. It's okay.
For Savannah Hamilton, for Ashley Talking. Thanks for watching Cinderella Stories. See you later. Bye.